There's many emotions I feel when making these videos, or at least trying to make these videos. For the past few days, the emotion has been don't. And I want to try to get into that emotion. Why don't you create videos? Because it's difficult. And I don't believe people truly understand this concept. Have you ever tried to do something and then didn't do it because it was that difficult? Now, difficulty on all spectrums is based on the person. Some people don't find it difficult to work out, but they find it difficult to sit down and write for an hour. Some people find it easy to write for an hour, but they find it very difficult to get up and work out. It's all about perspective. For me, mental masturbation is very difficult to overcome. For you, it might be the same way. And I believe it was by design. We've been set up, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of these different platforms, Facebook, all of these different platforms. It used to start with Kick and Vine. They just want you to continue to do things shortly, move on, short, move on, short. They don't want you to stay in one place for a long period of time. And I believe this is by fundamental design. The greatest things that's been built, the pyramids, everything that's been great, that's been built, has took time. And that's what they want to destroy. They want to keep the things that's been built here running so they can make money, because the people that have built those things or are profiting off those things are currently doing it now as we speak. They want to keep those things profiting and keep new things away from the market. Now, I'm going to go on a little tangent here. I've been watching Netflix, unfortunately. We all fall through the trap of watching Netflix. But there's a show on Netflix called The Blacklist. And I've been watching it for a little while now. And it's getting me to start to actually understand certain fundamental realities about the universe. And yes, it's a lot of Hollywood drama in it. But what I mainly want to focus on in that is it is so many amazing things that have been built by people, and it is very big organizations that don't want you to build another of them organizations, or they don't want you to build anything great. The reason why is because if you build it, you take away their profit share. It's a very selfish world that we live in, and you don't believe these things because you don't know how ruthless it is. Why are there very big monopolies on companies that shouldn't be a monopoly? Energy. When you want to get your home connected to the grid and you need water, who do you call? When you want electricity, who do you call? Dominion Energy. Let's be honest. Why? Can someone else get a contract to serve energy for a lower rate? Yes. They do not want you to do these things because it takes away from their profit. They're already massive. Why would they want the little itty bitty people to come in and try to sell them short? They got to a certain point where it doesn't matter. No matter how good you are, no one will know who you are. And that's what they want. And since we live in a communist society, I'm sorry, a democracy, you can make whatever you want and put it on the internet and sell it, but no one will know who you are ever, unless they want you to know, unless they want them to know. Sorry, and that's just scary. Now, luckily, with TikTok and Instagram and all the things that want to take your attention, they have allowed people to get some form of success so they can build these things, and without the backing of these big consumer brands, they can build a brand that sells soap and market it to a lot of people, and a lot of people buy it and they get them up. But there are certain barriers that you can't pass. For example, have you ever seen a soap that you really like that you wanted to get in store, but they're never in store? You could only buy them online. Why is that? Maybe it's one part the entrepreneur doesn't know how to get in store, or maybe it's another part, right? Maybe someone doesn't want them in the store. Maybe Dove doesn't want Allie's soap in the store. Maybe they want that shelf space to themselves. And this is something I wanted to talk on today. It's very difficult to actually understand what about these platforms is making you want to be so lazy. And for me, I just genuinely think it's they don't want us to do things for a long time. Like everything is designed to keep our attention for a very short amount of time and lower our attention span so we can continue to do things with less and less enthusiasm. YouTube. Have you ever tried to build a YouTube channel and you just can't build it because you don't want to post? The first day is fine. You get up, you post, you edit, you record, and you post it online. You slice it up and put it on TikTok and all these other platforms. And what about the second day? Maybe you do it for the second day, third day. Maybe you do it for the third day. But it's hard to continue. Consistency has been ruined in our society. And everyone believes that AI is going to come back and put consistency in their life. Hey, I don't have to edit my videos no more because AI does it. It gives me so much time back. You don't spend the time that you currently have doing it. So you believe that if you purchase AI would resolve your ability to not do things consistently. It doesn't work like that. And we know now because we've been through it together. And when I first got on this, I made a pledge to the internet that I would be doing daily vlogs. And I have failed on that pledge many times. Why? Let's be truthful here. Life is built for you to go through it and for the people at the top to understand who you are going through it and continue to reinforce the behavior of everyone around you. For example, why is it that so many people in minority communities do the same thing? Why is it that so many people from other communities do the same thing? Why? They pray to the same gods, or they pray to the same idols, or they hang around the same people. Society has been built and created and manufactured to work like it is today. And the people that change the society is the people that want to do better. The people that put the time in, put the effort in, take the time out to continue to mess up and learn, and then work from there. Y'all, I'm gonna end this topic now. I just wanted to touch on it. The reason why I haven't been as productive as I should be, or been doing these videos with you guys like I should have, is consistency. Consistency is key, and they don't want you to be consistent. So for the next week or 2 weeks, I'm gonna document my journey, overcoming that inconsistency with posting, running companies, and just being present with you guys. Because it's easier to run a business and keep everything going than it is to post videos and be up close and personal about it. Because of consistency. So let's see how I do for the week. You guys enjoy this video if you can. And I look forward to you getting to know more about me and me getting to know more about my audience, you guys, and what you guys want. If you don't know me already, my name is Kyrie Barnes, and I am a business owner. That's what I like to call myself, and also I want to be a social media fanatic in a way, post online and kind of vlog to you guys and document my journey. And also I inspire to be, well, I don't inspire to be that, but I would love to have an email list where I can give out my knowledge as a young guy and what I would suggest the other young guys do personally. And that's probably something I'll start on this week, just to get it going, move the ball forward. Because, and I want to speak on that topic too, moving the ball forward on specific contexts and topics. It's like, there's so many things you can do in this world, but the thing that you don't have is time because you're lazy. Speaking from personal experience, either you're being lazy, your mind is TikTok brain, you're fried, and you want to do it, but you only do it for a day and you give up. If you guys check my Instagram, I'll link it right here, and I'll also link it down below. Click it out. If you go to my highlights, I believe you'll be able to find some of my highlights from a while ago. And in those highlights, the reason why I'm bringing it up is in August 2024, I said the world doesn't care about your personal achievements. If you make a mistake, people will come for you. Even when you do something right, they will still show up with pitchforks. Everything you build, the world will try to tear down. It takes incredibly strong people to build an empire and keep it alive. The main question during this process is, who do you trust? It's a question I've asked myself many times. Trust is a powerful thing. When it comes to achieving anything significant, without trust in the people around you, there is nothing. So when the demons come, who will you trust? Question mark. Now, the reason why I bring that post up is because I stopped making those posts. If that was an email list, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will tune into that email list. You're like, oh, this guy's very interesting. Let me hear what he has to say. And I would tune into a guy like that, especially a young guy, speaking on his experiences and just trying to learn in the world. That'll be a great read for me. I'll try to connect with that guy and, get to know him and reach out to him personally and see if we can build a connection. Because that is what the world is about, networking. Your network is your net worth. So that'll be a great, opportunities for me when I was younger, when I am younger. I would do that currently right now, which is why I decided to make those. But I stopped. Now, if we really dig deep on why I stopped, there wasn't a specific reason. I just stopped doing it. Maybe it was time. Let's say it was time. I had time when I was watching Netflix. As you guys see just earlier, I was talking about the Blacklist. I truly believe that the world is set up to capture your attention. And I was watching this video. I'm so sorry that I won't be able to plug you in the comments. But what he was specifically talking about, he was saying that it's people that create and it's people that consume. And the creators will always beat the consumers because the consumers only know how to consume and the creators know how to create things for the consumers to consume. And with that, the creators can create things that they willingly know is bad for the consumers to consume. And the consumers will still consume it because they're consumers. It's like bait. If you put bait in the water for a fish and you put a hook behind it, the fish will still come and eat the bait. But now the fish is gone. Reel it up. Now you eat real good for the next day, right? Because the consumers don't understand what's good and what's bad until they're already watched it. It's like poison. How would you feel if the only way to know if a drink was poison every time you drank it, even if it's out of a water bottle or anything, is you had to drink it first? Or the only way to know if a food is poison, if you have to eat the food first. You'd be very wary about eating any food. You're like, hold on. People dying from this? Oh yeah, no, I'm not eating this. No, why would I eat this? And that's kind of like content. The fad, the trend, the next trend. For example, let's say tomorrow some trend pops up saying best facial product to get rid of skin acne. Millions and millions and billions of views. Everybody's on it. Everybody's buying it. Everybody's using it. It's a fad, 2-day fad. Everybody sees it in a day or 2 days. Millions and millions and millions of people see it. Millions and millions of people buy it. You all buy it. And let's say everyone put it on their skin and post it on Instagram and TikTok. Now, a week later, everybody breaks out of hives and gets some sort of very, bad skin pigmentation or something like that, right? Now, what? Now, the solutions come up. Everybody, oh, well, if you put this on your face, it'll stop the skin pigmentations. That's kind of, in a way, how I can explain social media from my experience. It's like, for example, the red pill content that we all had back in the day. Red pill content popped up. After it popped up, it was like, oh, okay, red pill, be red pill. Don't let nobody take advantage of you, blah, blah, blah. And then it just slowly disappeared. And then a couple months later, Andrew Tate popped up. He's like, oh, I love Andrew Tate, right? Blah, 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 right? This, that, and the third, right? Cool, got you. But do you truly know if that's for you? And I'm not saying anything bad about Andrew Tate. I actually think, he says some very important topics and, he doesn't hold his tongue from most things, which is at least what I can say about him. A lot of other people, obviously, you can't say that about, but, obviously you can say that about him, which is great. But think about who you're listening to before you listen to them. And I believe Andrew Tate said this as well. Like, you guys are listening to people and hearing them without actually thinking. For example, me, you guys are listening to me right now. But listen to what I'm telling you. Like, I'm telling you to think for yourself. Try to build a personality and try to think with some people, right? Come to a conclusion for yourself to come to a conclusion for other people. Say, I believe what this guy is talking about, or I believe what these people are talking about because I've done my research. So let me believe what these people are talking about and try to push my propaganda or push the word that I'm trying to say. Right? Same thing with politics. Like, people listen to politicians say these words, but do your research. Are these things what you really want? Hey, I want taxes to be down. I don't want to pay that much state. Do you know what that means? If you don't pay your taxes, what happens when we go to war? How does our people get the weapons that they need? You're gonna have your Big Mac because I know you're gonna spend the tax money that you didn't spend on taxes on a car and a Big Mac. I know you are. Like, look at you. Obviously, we're gonna do that. Like, that's just how it is and how we. But obviously, Big Mac, cars, houses. We're gonna pay. Some other things. We're gonna pay our mama stuff off. Like, obviously, these things are gonna happen, right? Like, some people do good things, some people do bad things. It all depends on what you want. But then, what happens when people need guns to fight for our Big Macs and our cars? They're not gonna have the money because the government defund the government. Yes, the government is spending a lot of money where it's not supposed to go, but without that money being given to these very bad people, most likely, the world wouldn't run like we think the world will run. And we are so ignorant as a society that we believe these bad people are bad because they are bad. But they are horrible. But because we allowed them to be. And we need we sort of need that in a way. And I'm not condoning anything, the horrible things that people do in these third world countries. What I'm saying is, if they didn't do it, someone else will. And that's a bad rabbit hole to go down. But what I'm trying to say in an instance for that is, like, some people will say the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Or some things like that, right? Or no devil at all. I don't know. Some things like that. But, like, think about that in the form of the government, right? They're fighting for your freedom. But genuinely, they're fighting for their own freedom. Because if we get overrun, they lose their power. And that's why our democracy works, in my only opinion. Can't speak for everybody, my opinion. If people lose their power, they are willing to fight for their power. So if the people in power are willing to fight for their power, as long as they're strong, we won't lose. Does that make sense? The weak people won't lose because the strong people aren't willing to lose. They're not willing to give up their power. So their selfishness is what's making the people behind them able to continue to go on through life as puppets. For example, Donald Trump is not willing to give up his seat in office. And since he's not willing to give us his seat in office, the people reap the benefits from the decisions that he makes. But if he was willing to concede with the other people, if he is willing to let down his guard and let down his hand and say, I don't want to argue with you about these things, I will agree with you and I will not disband the government. I will not lower taxes. I will not fight against the Taliban. I will not do these things. If Donald Trump were to sit down and say that, you wouldn't reap the benefits from him being a strong person that's willing to stand up for society. And all of that, I digress. What I'm saying is, in a way, you need selfish people to be able to grow society, because only a selfish person would do certain things. Like, why would you want to be a president? Make a difference? You could have made a difference doing something different. Why would you want to be this, or why would you want to be that? Like, it is very easy to try to bash these people, but when you genuinely think about the people that you're listening to, just listen to them. Listen, understand, do your research, and then reply. Don't just listen and reply. Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Listen. Say, okay, does this sit well with me? Does this make sense with me? Okay, cool. And then keep going. I digress. Great video. We just sat here all day. Unfortunately, y'all didn't get a vlog today. I did record some vlog content earlier in the day, but unfortunately, we didn't get to see it. But I'll try to do more in recording these vlog contents and just getting it out to y'all. Like I said, this week is all about consistency. As long as we're consistent, we can be successful. And if you guys want to tag along in the journey, reach out to me in the comments below or on my Instagram. Official Barnes is my tag on Instagram. You can reach out to me in the DMs or on X. I have an X profile, I believe. My X profile is called Official Barnes as well. But let me check for you guys. Yeah, Official 1 Barnes. I didn't even need to change that because you guys are never going to understand that. But Kyrie Barnes, look at my handle. If you see it, fine. If not, then, unfortunately, I'll put it down below in the comments. And you guys leave me follow on there. And hopefully, it starts to show you guys more often my profile. All right. Peace out.